With that being said, I do have a couple of safety spills that I have to go over. If you look above your head, you'll actually see some orange things. Those are called life vests. Now, the children are at the front of the radio, those are on either side. Now, we've been over just about 100 years, never had to use it. By gosh, we're not going to start today. Now, if for any reason you guys do want to break my heart and that 100-year tradition, by all means. What you'll do is you'll reach up there, you'll grab that life vest, you'll pull it around your head, securely fasten around your waist, and then jump off my boat. Hurt my feelings, will you? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if it just so happens that we get hit by a rogue torpedo and we have to abandon ship, have no fear. Do not fret. I will dispatch an alligator rescue team to come get you. I mean, come help you. I mean, they'll only charge you an arm and a leg for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have a radio in my hand. It is in constant communication with the boats and the boat dock behind me. Now, if you guys feel ill or impaired and cannot finish the trip, you let me know. I have an EMT back at the dock within 15 minutes. Now, if I feel sick, ill, or impaired and can't finish the trip, oh boy. Oh boy. Just press this button on this receiver right here and give them the universal sign of distress. We all remember what that is, right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, huh? Yeah? And let them know that Captain Bill cannot finish the trip. With that being said, guys, let's get on with the ride. Ladies and gentlemen, this glass that you're looking through is real glass. Of course, it is. It cracks, it breaks, it does everything that those wonderful real glass does. This glass is only a half an inch thick and it's not magnified in any way. What you see is what you get. Ladies and gentlemen, this water is 98.9% pure spring water. Wow. Although I do not suggest sticking the cup down there and trying it. But then again, for those of you who already drank Nestle's bottled spring water, unfortunately, you already have it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this water stays a constant 72 degrees because of the springs. Now, speaking of springs, the first spring that we are going to go see is called the Spring of Stars. And they gave it that name for the many different actors and actresses that actually done movies here, like Jane Russell, Jerry Lewis, Burt Reynolds, and of course, Johnny Weissmuller from the 6 original Tarzan movies. Now, we don't have many actors or actresses actually doing movies here anymore, so our wildlife has become our stars. So, as we hang over this spring right here, which is just about almost close to 28 feet deep, I will try my best Aquaman impression and see if I can get some of those fish to actually come up and say hi to us. Hold on.
Can you do that?
Did it work?
No.
Oh yes, you got a couple.
It didn't work.
You got a couple?
Ladies and gentlemen, my powers do work! Ladies and gentlemen, those fish that are coming into the bottom of the glass, those guys are called bluegill. We here like to call them lucky blue for one reason and one reason only. It is illegal to fish here, which means they will never see the bottom of a frying pan. That is so horrible because that's some really good eating right there. Really good. How many people actually ate bluegill before? Is that not some good fish? Now where that gray rock meets that ledge right there, that is the actual spring. That spring is just about 28 feet deep.
58.
Now the next spring we're going to go see is called the Creature Spring. And they call it the Creature Spring because they made 3 different movies at this one location. Who would like to guess what one of those movies are? You are correct, sir. It is a creature from the Black Lagoon. The return of the creature from the Black Lagoon. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Back to the Black Lagoon.
Captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming into view at the bottom of the glass, I give you our 38-foot Creature Spring.
Oh my God, that's a lot of fish.
This right here is the Creature Spring, guys. This spring right here is just about 38 feet deep.
38 din. Lalim nito. Ito yung sinisi.
Now the next spring we're gonna go see, ladies and gentlemen, is called the Abyss. Now they call it the Abyss because years ago they sent divers down here to find out exactly how deep this spring really is. Well, this spring got so tight and so narrow that the divers had to take their air tanks off their back, push them down in front of them, just so they can get down a little bit deeper. Now, although, ladies and gentlemen, on record, this spring is only 82 feet deep. The divers had just about 250 yards of weighted line with them. Now, the theory was they would drop this line, that line will hit the bottom, and it'll give them some idea how deep this spring really is. Well, that was in theory, because in reality, they dropped that 250 yards of weighted line, and that line never hit the bottom. So they have no idea how deep this spring really is.
Fiberglass ito. Oo. Isda.
Now that stuff that you see flowing around down there, that is limestone and snail shells that has been down there for thousands of years. And what's actually making it blow and come up out of force like that is something that we call the Florida Aquifer, which is basically rainwater from North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama that come through underground caves and caverns and pushes out here. Give me 1 second, guys. This wind is pushing me around in here just. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what actually form our natural springs here. Hold on, I want everybody to see that spring right there. There it is. Now, I was told that a captain was given a tour one day here, and a sign had floated up from down there. And that sign was red and yellow, and it was written in Chinese. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry?
Is it red and yellow, killer fella?
Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look right here, this island that is in front of us is called Bird Island. And they call it Bird Island for the many different species of birds you can find on that island. The blackbirds with the orange hook beaks, those are called cormorants. It's also their nesting season, so a couple of them built a couple of pen houses up there. And then the blackbirds with the straight beaks, those are called anhingas or snake birds. Only because when you see them in the water, you don't know whether they're a bird, a snake, an alligator, or what. Now we do have a family of manatee that like to frequent this area. We also have some river otters that like to pop through here from time to time. We also have those high-flying, jump from tree to tree, smile in your face, rhesus macaque monkeys here. And ladies and gentlemen, we are in Florida, which means occasionally we can see an abundance of alligators!
Alligator.
Meep, meep! Meep, meep! Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look over here on the right-hand side coming up, you'll see some of those birds and cormorants and anhingas up there. You will also see some of their babies in those trees over there. I can't get close because I have the kayakers over here, so I'm sorry about that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this next set of springs coming up is called the Cypress Spring. The Spring of Life. And they call it the Spring of Life because there's just about 85 different springs here. And they all range from 8th magnitude to 1st magnitude springs. Now, they call them 8th magnitude and 1st magnitude springs, not because of the size of the spring, but because the amount and volume of water that they actually push out, that is how they are graded. That is little Joey, ladies and gentlemen. Little Joey is a baby 8-foot alligator.
Oh man, it's a big one. Look at that.
Look between the glass, bro.
Ano alligator deal?
Now, who knows how to properly measure an alligator besides very carefully? I will tell you. What you would do, guys, is you would measure them from the tip of their nose to the center of their eyes, and you would estimate that in inches. Now, not only will I estimate their length in feet, but that will also estimate their age. So, since he's just about anywhere close from 8 to 9 inches from the tip of his nose to the center of his eyes, that means that he's anywhere from 8 to 9 feet. That also means that he's anywhere from 8 to 10 years old. Those nice little hoot scoots and notches that's on his back going all the way down, they use those as solar panels.
Oh man.
Little lizard. They use those as solar panels. Copy that. Not only to off my stern. Not only to actually use the sun, but they also use those as nutrients also. An alligator can go anywhere from 2 to 3 months without actually eating anything at all. Meep meep. It's headed towards the bird island. Really? Dude sitting there the whole time. I start moving and he decides to take off. He'll be off your port heading towards the island.
Alligator na banat.
Now these are your actual springs down here, guys.
Ay, hindi naman alligator. Gentlemen, boys and girls, coming through at the bottom of the glass, you guys are going to see something so awesome, so wonderful, so amazing. You will see something that resembles the backbone of a dinosaur. Where is the dinosaur? Backbone of the dinosaur. Saan ang backbone of the dinosaur? Wala naman.
I should know. Yeah. If you go back, you'll see it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the University of Florida actually had that tested.
That's the boat.
And it turns out, guys, that that is, in fact, a rock. But if you look alongside that rock, you'll see a piece of wood. Now, the University of Florida also took that piece of wood to their facility in Gainesville. And it turns out, guys, that that piece of wood is, in fact, a piece of wood.
Wow.
But there's something so awesome, so wonderful, so amazing about that piece of wood, guys. That piece of wood is actually over 500 to 600 years old. That piece of wood is actually remnants of a Native American dugout canoe left here by the Timucua Indians.
Those aren't fishes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this next spring coming up is one of my favorite springs. And I know we shouldn't have favorites here, but I'm a boat captain, so I can and I will. Ladies and gentlemen, coming into view at the bottom of the glass, this spring is a first magnitude spring. This spring is responsible for pushing out 250 million gallons of water every 24 hours on its own.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming through at the bottom of the glass, I give you the blue grotto. Now we have just about 37 different species of fish here, but not limited to 7 different type of bass, 3 different type of gar. We have catfish here. We have that high flying jump under the water and smack back down fish called Ocala. We have that come up, go to the air and go back down, air breathing fish called bluefin. Ladies and gentlemen, we even have a species of fish here that does not belong here at all. It is called tilapia. Ladies and gentlemen, who knows where tilapia comes from? And please don't say public. So tilapia is an Asian fish that comes from Asia. So a lot of us boat captains like to believe that it actually took that shortcut through the abyss to get here. And that canoe is taking on water, something crazy. Wow.